What's good, everybody? It's your boy Everton, and in my hand is the Galaxy S10 Plus, but I do have my Mint Mobile SIM card in here, and I've been rocking with the service for about 2 to 3 weeks now. It's actually been a pretty good service. I've actually been quite happy with the service, but I immediately started to notice some of the features were missing from some of the major carriers, or at least the carrier that I switched from. And I wanted to let you guys know about that today before you guys made the switch. So I'm going to do that today. There is a link to Mint Mobile if you do want to check them out. It's a referral code that I have. If you do want to check them out, both of us get a discount or a credit, I should say. So first off, why did I actually switch from like a major carrier? Well, I used to have T-Mobile, and I was actually quite happy with T-Mobile. I've actually been with them since 2002, and it's been 99% a positive process. They've actually been quite efficient with the costs and with their data speeds, and their coverage has robustly been improved. They offer a lot of features, and I was actually pretty happy. I didn't really have an issue with T-Mobile at all. But the reason why I left or decided to change carriers is because I was actually looking to free up some of my bills and things like that. So I started to just notice that I actually know some commercials from Mint Mobile, started looking at some reviews on YouTube, and it seemed very attractive. So I bought a Mint Mobile starter kit, and I decided to test their service out because I was really confident in T-Mobile service. So I was like, hey, if they're running on the same network, I should be okay. The porting process was super easy. You can choose to get your own phone number, a brand new phone number, or to port out your own. I did port, and the porting process was immediate. I think about 3 seconds after I did it, I got a cancellation text from T-Mobile, and immediately as soon as I popped in my SIM, I had service from Mint Mobile, which was great. Also, they are a mobile virtual network operator, which means that they don't own the towers that they get service from. One of the concerns that you might want to take into consideration is that you will get deprioritized if you are not a core member of T-Mobile's towers, which means that if their network gets congested, they're not going to prioritize obviously your sub network. They're going to make sure that their clients get enough service. Now, this has never happened to me. I've had great service since I've been on here, and I've never really experienced slowdown in an area that I usually get great service at with T-Mobile, but that's just basically my personal experience. Their plans do offer unlimited talk and text, but you do have tiers of data, and which you can buy in bulk payment option. You can actually buy them in 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. The longer you go with the plan, the cheaper it actually is. And I actually think it's a cool option, but once I actually started to use the service, I did start to notice that little by little, there were certain features that were missing, and these features may be deal breakers to you, may not be, but I want to start going over those today. So the first thing that I found out that was missing was the usage history for data, calls, and text. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey, Everton, it's inside my phone. All I have to do is go inside my phone app. I can see who I called, and I actually have a record of who I texted. But a perfect example of this was like, hey, what if you drop your phone and the phone breaks and you crack your screen and you had to have been texting somebody that you did not memorize their phone number? Where will you get this data from? There are plenty of cases. I actually had a little tenderoni that I was texting, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm done with it. So let me go ahead and delete that phone number. And I was like, oh snap, I did need to, maybe I shouldn't have deleted it. And luckily, I did back up my text messages and things like that. But at the same time, it's one of those situations where if you are speaking to someone, they're not saved or their data is not backed up, you cannot go to Mint Mobile and to retrieve this history. Well, I chatted with the bot, and they did confirm that they are unable to provide at this time any of call histories and etc. Now, I do want to say that these are missing features at the time of this video. If they do add it down the line, that will not be applicable. But at this time, they do not have any call history. Also, data history. So the cool thing about this is that they actually do show you your data that's remaining within your billing cycle, which is super cool because that's really all I really care about. T-Mobile would actually show you how many calls you made, how many texts you made. I really didn't care about that since it was unlimited, but even though they've released a unlimited plan, it does max out at 35 gigs of data. The reason why that's important is because if with a smartphone, we download apps, and sometimes some of those apps running in our background. And if for some reason you look a few days later and you've drastically reduced your data, you might want to say, well, okay, well, what day did I lose 2 gigs of data? Or what day did I lose an entire gig of data when the rest of them I use half a gig, a day or whatever. So they don't show you that history. If you don't keep an eagle eye on it to identify where you're using your data or where most data is being drained, you cannot rely on Mint Mobile to keep track of the data usage, what day it occurred. They only tell you the bucket of data that is remaining. So you do have to worry about that. I know with T-Mobile, they actually showed you a breakdown of which day and what pocket of data you use. Like they would actually keep a timestamp of like, hey, you use 0.22075 of data between 7 a.m. and 7:02 looking up something. It was really detailed, and I'm not saying that you might need that all the time, but it would be super useful. So the third thing is that you're not able to upgrade phones through the carrier itself. So from T-Mobile, you had the ability to upgrade a phone at any point in time. When a new phone came out, you could say, hey, I would like to upgrade through your company. They send you out a T-Mobile branded phone. If you can finance it, you can pay them full, etc. If you do need a new phone with this company, you will have to actually purchase it or finance it on your own now, which is not a huge deal right away, but it is very inconvenient because if you're unable to really fully purchase a phone, well, your credit has to be qualified to finance that phone, or you have to get a phone that you can actually afford at that time being. I know with T-Mobile, they allow you to finance over and pay over months, and you can pay it off if you get the money early. You can apply a payment to there. With Mint Mobile, you don't have that option at this time. You can buy a phone when you first purchase a service, but you're unable to actually find or upgrade phones through them while you're actually in the middle of a service. You can purchase your own phone, pop your SIM card in there, and do your thing, but you get the gist. And the last one is really not that big of a deal, but it is something that kind of irks me a little bit. It is the fact that they sell like service. It is a prepaid plan, so which means that they give a ton of trial options, and those are often discounted at times, and if you keep the service after the trial, you don't qualify if you see like a 12-month option out there that's a little bit cheaper that you can get. So basically, you're gonna have to pay whatever the premium price plan is. That's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is extra money, but at the same time, when you see somebody else being able to buy the service for 12 months at a discounted rate, it bothers me a little bit because I want that better rate. But it is already steeply discounted from what T-Mobile was, so I'm quite okay with it, I guess, but I still do look at like, hey, I actually really like the service. I kind of want that plan for a little bit of a discount, but it is what it is. So far, those are the things that I think can affect your purchase decision if you do want to purchase Mint Mobile. For me personally, I know that none of these are deal breakers. The service has been great. I haven't had any difference in call quality. So if you guys do have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to catch up with you. But overall, guys, I have had a pretty pleasant experience with Mint Mobile. I haven't had any issues with service, and I'm sure that they're always continuing to improve their service. I actually like the services very well. Data is robust, call services, just like T-Mobile's, which I was very happy with before. There is a link to Mint Mobile if you do want to check them out. It's a referral code that I have. If you do want to check them out, both of us get a discount or a credit, I should say. So, check it out. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys' time. And until next time, I'm Everton, and I do videos Everton's way. Peace.